very scary situation. I mean, scary situation to have the president of the United States inciting a riot. But we in Congress are determined to do our job, and Joe Biden will be president on January 20th, and it cannot come soon enough.
So the scene we did see today was sickening and disturbing, right? Armed standoff on the House floor, like drawn guns literally at the door. I keep showing that picture. I think it's indelibly imprinted now on my mind. Officers injured, a window broken outside. They forced their way inside the chambers. Somebody sitting on the dais where Pence was literally presiding as the Vice President of the United States moments before that. Chairman, what went through your mind as you were literally in a room, being evacuated like you were in some other country that you never, I mean, you never thought something like this would happen, did you?
Yeah. I mean, this morning I did. I actually went for a walk around the Capitol, and I could see, I knew the rally was going on down at the, I think around the Washington Monument, and I saw the barriers that were up and the limited number of Capitol Police. I could see it then, but no, I never foresaw this. And what went through my mind was two things. First of all, like I said, to get in touch with, the people I know at the Pentagon, make sure, because I'd heard what they were going to do with the Guard, and it was insufficient to what was happening. So number one, make sure you get the security personnel in to get this cleared. But number two, what was going through my mind is what's been going through my mind for a long time. Extremism is an enormous problem in this country. And Donald Trump is just, throwing matches all over, the powder kegs in this country. But look, the president, Donald Trump, is a narcissistic psychopath. Let's just be clear about that. He stumbled his way into the presidency. What he believes from a policy standpoint is irrelevant. He is an egotist. He cares about himself, period. The rest of the country that has enabled him is what we really need to work to fix. We need to understand the dangers of extremism. We've gotten to the point that we don't understand that the rule of law matters. What's important about democracy is you have rules. You play by those rules. It isn't that you get your way all the time, and that if you don't get your way, you have to fight until you do. That's not how it works. You play by the rules, and when it's over, you accept the outcome and you govern this country. We need to push back against extremism. The president is just, you get the point. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I understand. I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned you talked to defense leadership, and obviously you're chairman of the Armed Services Committee. So, I just want to ask you, is the president really was silent, and anything that he said included basically, way to go, guys, this is what happens. Mike Pence came out and said, this has to stop, and it has to stop now. Or he's the one who said that, not the president. And we understand that, you talk about the National Guard being there, that Mike Pence is the one who spoke with the acting Secretary of Defense and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, not the president. Right. It would ordinarily be the president of the United States who would do that. So can you tell me what you know actually happened, who made these calls, and what the significance of that may be?
Look, I can tell you exactly what happened. I don't know what Mike Pence's role was in it, but primarily this was the mayor of Washington, D.C., working directly with Ryan McCarthy, who is the Secretary of the Army. And it's complicated, but the Army is in charge of the National Guard within Washington, D.C., and so that's Secretary McCarthy. They were communicating with each other. As this thing exploded, the acting Secretary of Defense, Mr. Miller, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Milley, both of whom I spoke to, got involved, and then they got involved with the Justice Department. It's hard to keep track of all of the actings, but I believe the acting Attorney General is Mr. Rosen. And fortunately, all of those people decided that they needed to bring security to the situation. The one saving grace in all of this is that the president has totally abdicated his job. As near as I can tell, he wasn't on the phone to these same people.
Right, because you're saying he's not in this. You're talking about all these people making these huge decisions, and the president of the United States is not in that chain.
And here's the scary part about it, Aaron. That's reassuring to me, okay? Because if the president was involved in that chain, number one, I don't trust that he wouldn't use the situation to seize power in an undemocratic, well, every coup is undemocratic, I suppose. But number two, he's incompetent. He doesn't care about making things work. He cares about his own ego, and he cares about himself. And we see that, with the way he handled the pandemic, with the way he's handling the vaccine right now. And here's a really important point that people understand is he relies on lies. And that's what Ted Cruz and all these people are doing now. All these things that they say about election irregularities, are complete lies, complete and utter fabrications.
So,
that
Chairman,
don't exist.
I want to just interrupt you on that, ask you one final question on that front. Have you heard anything about their meetings and their thoughts right now? Are they going to continue with their planned objections, or has this changed anything specifically for Senators Cruz, Senator Hawley?
I have not heard. I don't have any direct information on that. I think your reporting covered the analysis perfectly, so I don't have anything to add to that.
All right. Well, Chairman, I appreciate your time and thank you very much for all of that information. We're all going to be watching all of you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I want to go now to Jonathan Martin.